In this video lesson, we are going to continue to talk about the video effects that we have in Lumion. So we started in the previous video, we started to see how the effects panel works, and we can go here again to photo, and we saw, for example, how to create aurora borealis and other effects. So we're gonna continue, and let's start here with a new scene. So I will go into the files and open up an example so that we can comfortably start to study a little bit some of the effects, and then we can try to make our own. Okay, so this is the Farnsworth house, and I will also hide some of the layers here. And I also decrease the quality a little bit because we are not going to work into this main view, into the build view. We are going to move into the photo. And we can already see here some beautiful effects, which are a mixture of different effects in various categories. And you can see that things can get really complex, but you can use these templates. These are really useful to understand what effects are capable of in Lumion. Now, in other 3D software, these would be really hard to get. It's really hard and heavy to get these types of effects and animation. Here is really so simple that you're gonna be amazed of your skills. You can see that you can also create some technical artistic drawings, and always when you create a new one, you need to wait or click here in the preview to make a high quality preview of what you have set. Now, I've used this example to do some experiments. I created different views using different effects, and this is the photo matching here, but I will talk about that later. And this one here also, it's nice. It's called Selective Saturation, so it's only leaving the greens and the rest it's black and white. Now you can find similar effects in software like Photoshop. So Lumion has a lot of different types, like graphic design types or 3D animation types, and we are gonna see them. And also we have these like artistic effects, which are pretty simple to use. So let's start with the first one. I want to use the same view, so I will move to an empty slot and create a new view like that. Just click on the camera, and maybe I will adjust a little bit the focal length and the position here. And you can use the same navigation tool that we explained in the first lessons here to move around. And once you're ready, just retake the picture, so it's gonna update. So let's start with the simplest effects, and then we're gonna go to the more advanced. And we can go directly to artistic. Now, artistic are probably the simplest and easiest and funniest filters to use. So for example, if you want to have that sketch look, you can use outlines. Look at that, really cool. And then you can change here the color variation. If you want black and white, just go all the way up here. Now, if you want to create some technical drawing, there you go, just also experiment with these parameters. So this one here is a perspective, but what if I want some 2D effect, something really technical and flat? Then I need to use another effect. So here is where we start to mix a little bit to get what we are looking for. So right now I will move into the camera category, and I will choose orthographic view. Now with orthographic view, I can switch from 2D, 3D, just with this panel here, or also from here you can just enable the orthographic view, and that's gonna be 2D basically. And now we can change the zoom and the heading. So if you want to have other point of views here, just click and drag this one here. And the pitch also, if you want like a view from the top. All right, so if you want a plan view. And then we have the near clip. This is also useful if you want to create a section of your architecture. So click again into the window to have the highest preview resolution, and then remember that to have the best quality you need to render out, choose the highest quality, and then you will have your really nice technical drawing. You can also use the far clip to take things off from the background, but we don't have a background here, so we don't need it. And also we can try to use the align camera with surface. So if I click on a particular surface, it's gonna align to that. And again, if I rotate like this and I just use the correct value here, so if I hold shift I can do this more slowly and accurate. There you go. You have your plumb view here. Now let's go back, and then I can change my mind, for example, in the outlines. So I can probably add some colors if I want. Now let's say I want to create a new view here and store also this camera, but I want the effects from the previous view. I can go here and say, okay, copy effects, and then move to this other image and say paste effects. So I get the same setting, and then I can move on from here. Also, if I orbit around here, I can create a nice orthographic view. Let's move to the next one. So I'm gonna create new picture, and so we use the layers also here in post-production if you want. And to do that, you can go to the objects and say, okay, I can use the layers. I can also use variation. If you remember when we talked about different options in the project. So here I can activate or deactivate the layers. So right now I want this one here and want to be in this position like that. And let's add some other effects. So let's go back into artistic. So sometimes you have, for color correction, sometimes you can sharpen. So these are really similar to what we find in Photoshop. So you can see now it's more sharpen, and you can decide how much intensity do you want to give. And sometimes you have something to add some defects like noise. So when you add noise, it's gonna look like a real camera. It's having a little bit of noise. And let's go here. Also Vignette, it's a really classic effect from cameras. It has to be really soft. And well, you can see these are not only artistic, so they have, one of these are pretty artistic, others are not. And this is like watercolor. And let's go to artistic 2. And you can also have this, which is kind of